Hey friends, this is Angela from Art of Creation Homestead. You're in the kitchen with me again. What we are making today is a pumpkin chocolate chip cake with cream cheese frosting. Doesn't that sound to die for? And if you haven't had pumpkin with chocolate, you have been missing out, my friend, because it is a match made in heaven. You may think I'm a little crazy if you've never tried it together, but trust me, you want to try it together. It is amazing. So, we'll start by mixing our dry ingredients together. So in this bowl, we have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. We have 1 cup of granulated sugar. We use pure cane sugar. We have a 1/2 cup of packed light brown sugar. We have 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, and a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Now we're going to take a whisk. We're going to whisk this all together. You don't even need a mixer for this cake. It's so easy. You don't even need a mixer for it until you get to the frosting. When you get to the frosting, you'll need a mixer. But you always need a mixer for frosting. Well, not always, but most of the time. So, we won't pull out a mixer until then. This cake is going to be moist and absolutely delicious. You just wait till you try it. Now, we've got all of those ingredients mixed together. Now we are going to pull out our wet ingredients. So in this bowl, we have a 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree. Not pumpkin pie filling mix, or not pumpkin pie mix. Pumpkin, just pure pumpkin puree. And in that we have 3 large eggs. Now, you want to mix that together, just real quick. See, this is easy peasy. We're going to switch to our whisk. That's going to work so much better for this. That's going to work so much better to get those eggs beat in. Now, to this, we are going to add 1 cup of neutral flavored oil. You can use anything you like here, anything that doesn't have a flavor. So don't use like extra virgin olive oil or something like that. And we also have 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now, normally you would see me split the fat and do half oil and half melted butter. In this case, the melted butter may tend to make the cake a little drier, and we want a nice, moist, beautiful cake. So we're going with all oil with this one. So you want to whisk all that oil and vanilla right into it. And see, you've got a very smooth batter there. Now, we are going to add our dry ingredients into our wet ingredients. I would say add about half of it. Mix it in real good. Now we're going to switch back to our spatula. I'm using a silicone spatula here. These are the best silicone spatulas that I've ever used. They have lasted me forever. They are a brand, I think it's called Dioro. They are the best. I will put a link in the description below to these silicone spatulas. They are the best. Okay, now we've got half of it mixed in. Now we are going to add the other half of our dry ingredients. And we are going to partially mix it in. See? Till the point that there are still flour in it, just like you see there. Now, we are going to add a scant, not a full cup, a scant cup of mini chocolate chips. If you don't have minis, you can use full-size chocolate chips. But you get a lot better distribution with minis. These minis will distribute beautifully throughout the cake. The bigger ones tend to stay, you tend to get less distribution with them. So I choose to use minis. Now, you just want to fold that in. You don't want to overwork that gluten. So once everything is incorporated and you don't see any more flour, stop mixing. You don't want a tough cake. So, now be sure and scrape down the bottom. Make sure that there's no dry ingredients down there. And see, now we've got that beautiful cake batter. And it smells divine already. Now, over here, we have a 13 by 9. I'm using a glass baking dish. You can use a metal or whatever you like to use. And we're gonna spray it down with some cooking spray. Or you can grease and flour, whichever you like to do. I'm just making it easy on myself today because the cake's got so much oil in it that it's not gonna stick a lot anyways. So I'm just making it easy on myself and spraying it down with some cooking spray. So now, we're gonna empty all that batter into your pan. And you don't wanna miss a drop of that. Now, you wanna spread it around as evenly as you possibly can. You just wanna spread it around really good. And this is absolutely beautiful. And smells divine. It's gonna make your whole house smell amazing. Okay, now we're gonna pop this in. I should have told you this earlier. The first thing you really wanna do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees. So we're gonna pop this into a preheated 350 degree oven until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out with moist crumbs, not wet batter, not dry, moist crumbs. And if you hit a chocolate chip, poke somewhere else because you're not gonna get a good reading. I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. As you can see, this deliciousness is out of the oven and this whole house smells divine. But as good as it is right now, it's gonna get better. But first, you gotta let it cool. This will bake for about 30 to 40 minutes. It depends on your oven and depends on the type of pan you use. Mine baked for around 34 minutes and it's perfect right now. The best way to know is just do the toothpick test. Insert a toothpick in the center and when it comes out with moist crumbs on it, not wet batter, not dry, but moist crumbs on it, then you know it's perfect and ready to take out. Because if you wait till the toothpick is completely clean, then your cake is perfectly baked then. And by the time it carryover cooks, because this pan is so hot and the cake itself is so hot, that carryover cook is gonna kick in, even though it's out of the oven, and it's gonna continue to cook. And it's gonna be overcooked and probably dry out a little bit. You don't want that. So pull it out when there's moist crumbs on the toothpick. Now we're gonna leave it to cool completely. You do not wanna put cream cheese frosting on a hot cake. It would melt and run everywhere. You want to let this cool completely, and then when this is completely cool, I'll show you how I make my cream cheese frosting, and we'll frost this thing up. Our beautiful pumpkin chocolate chip cake is out of the oven. It's cooled. It's ready to make this luscious cream cheese frosting. So now, I'm gonna show you how to do that. And normally I would use a stand mixer. Normally I would use my KitchenAid to do this. But to show you just how easy this is, that you don't need any special equipment to do it, to show you just how easy it is, I'm just gonna use a plain old hand mixer so that you can see just how easy it is to make this. The cake and the frosting, super easy. We have 1 8-ounce brick of cream cheese that has been softened at room temperature. So it's nice and creamy in room temperature now. And we have 1 stick of butter, unsalted butter, that has also been softened to room temperature, and it's very soft and very creamy now. So now we are going to take our hand mixer and we are just going to cream up these 2 ingredients together and get them nice and creamy in the bowl. I'll be back to show you what it looks like. As you can see, it's all creamy together now. Now we're gonna start adding some powdered sugar. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna add in 3 cups of powdered sugar. to this mixture. Now, it may take more than that. We will see based on the consistency, but we are going to start with 3 cups. Okay, our 3 cups of powdered sugar are in the bowl. Now we're just going to mix it up with that same hand mixer that I showed you. Now you can see it's most of the way mixed up. So now I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract. Now we're going to finish mixing it up, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. As you can see, it's nice and creamy and beautiful. See, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? We didn't need to add any more powdered sugar other than the 3 cups. It came out perfect. But if yours needs a little extra to make it nice and creamy like this, then go ahead and add a little extra. Now we're going to take it over here and we're going to frost our cake. And I'll show you what this beautiful cake looks like when it's nice and frosted. Okay, we've got the last of our beautiful creamy cream cheese frosting going on. And you have to admit, this looks amazing. I mean, to die for is not even enough. To say this is to die for, it's not even enough. Okay, there's our beautifully iced cake. I don't know if you call it icing or frosting, but whatever you call it, it's just delicious. Now you want to store this in the refrigerator, and I'll show you how good it is when it comes dessert time and Jason can taste it for you.
Okay, so here we are. Now I get to taste it. Angela done showed you how to make it, and that's what she does best. And this is what I do best. I eat. And she knows that I like cream cheese frosting. Who don't? Wow. That's so amazing. It's just got a phenomenal flavor, and something about a pumpkin cake and cream cheese icing. It's like a pumpkin roll, you know, but you put it in the cake form, and then kind of, sort of, I guess, kind of, maybe, I don't know, sounds right, maybe I'm not, I might be crazy, but anything chocolate chips, don't worry about chocolate chips. They're just there to add a little note of flavor. They're not going to overpower this thing at all, and you're not going to be like tasting all chocolate. It's not that. It's not about that. It's just an amazing, wonderful flavored cake that you got to try. All right. So hey, thank you guys for watching. We do appreciate it. We love you guys so much. I'm Jason. The brilliant one's Angela Kay, and we love you guys. God bless you and goodbye.